What is up, guys? NYKF31 here, Madden 19. Got a bit of a treat for y'all, depending on your point of view. You're going to see me take on a really good competitive player. I play two, top of the leaderboard opponents in this video. One is number 2 on the salary cap leaderboard, and while I was playing him, I was also watching Zan's live stream, and I asked anyone if they ever heard of the guy. 'Cause I hadn't heard of him. His name didn't. His name looked somewhat familiar, but I just couldn't place it. And yeah, he's a Madden Club Series finalist. So yeah, we're gonna see how that goes. As you see here, my team, and I was gonna run with the Panthers playbook and to see how I did. And you see his top 3 there. You see mine. Got the loaded up Vic, the loaded up Moss. He's got an Amari Cooper out there who's also very good. And okay, we'll see how we do. Some of you guys have asked me over the past couple of years that, if I made a conscious effort to compete on the leaderboards, whether I could qualify for one of the MCS tourneys. If I did do that, I'm pretty sure I could. I'm certain I could make at least the online, first round portion of it. After that, I probably could not get out of there. As they say, there are levels to this. The last time I really grinded the leaderboards was Madden 17, I think, and I finished in the top 100 in the leaderboards a couple of times and almost qualified for the last major you could use the leaderboards to qualify for. So, if I did grind it, I could finish in that frame and get to the online single elimination part, I think. But getting out of online, I don't think I could. I mean, these guys put in so much time and are so good at executing the meta of the game, and I'm not running meta. And plus, I'm just a regular Joe Schmo. I can't put in the amount of time or hang with a guy like Matster Gamer or Bugs. Dubby, certainly not a guy like Skimbo or those, top 1%ers. But can I hang with between the top 50 to 150? Yeah, that I can do. But I don't really enjoy doing it. The qualification mode right now is actually MUT Draft, and I haven't played MUT Draft in about a month. Could I grind that out? Certainly I could, but I don't want to. I just want to play football. I'm just an old football guy, man. I run my schemes, I apply my knowledge, I share my knowledge, I show you guys how to implement principles that work on the field, in the game, as best as the game allows you to do. I like competing in my online leagues, and I'll dabble here and there in the online world just to kind of show that the sim guy can hang. But that top echelon of competitive Madden, no, I couldn't do that. But anyhow, here we are. He's on the march here, and that's really unfortunate that he got that off. I had a chance to get him off the field or get him into some less than ideal situations, but my pass rush kind of failed me. Putting together this team, I was kind of seeing what I can. Well, my thought process there as Shaq Griffin goes through his O-line like they were standing still, which they were. But going through this, since salary cap is on all Madden, I'm trying to see what I can get away with cap-wise and still, have effective coverage and effective pass rush. I'm probably a little bit light on the pass rush. I do have a 89 finesse move, Leonard Floyd down there, a 90 finesse move for Karras McKinley. Shaq Griffin I have playing defensive end. He's got only an 84 pass rush move, but he's got great speed and great acceleration. And I figure you're not going to be seeing stacked offensive lines in salary cap rank for the most part. So again, I was thinking that I could get by with lower rated items, not really the full blown out goons on the defensive line, and also in coverage provided that they could run, and provided they have mid to high 80s and maybe a low 90 here and there, and see if and have that work. I might have a little bit too much cap on the offensive line. The thing I noticed about offensive line blocking, in this game is that You know, differences in 5 in either direction don't really amount to much. You're not going to see too much of a drop-off between a 85, let's say an 85 rated pass block lineman and an 80 pass block. If you run the zone read, let's go. Let's go. But yeah, from 85 to 80, you're not going to see much of a performance drop-off. From like 80 to 75, same thing. That's what I notice as far as performance is concerned. So I could probably, knock down the O-line a little bit. But again, it's just trial and error. And again, so much time. I send the spy, between the spy and my rushers, someone's got to get home. You just can't have that much time on a base pass rush. Otherwise, nothing's going to work if you have that much time for the ball. Same thing here. As you can see here, I have, for the most part, stuff covered pretty well. The pass rush just has to get home. So 3rd and 3. I'm playing match coverage. Mixing in cover 6 invert, cover 6, cover 9, match quarters, cover 3 buzz match. My spy, I send him, he goes right into an offensive lineman, and that of course frees the guy up to have time for that to happen. So again, my pass rush is just not getting it done. There he kind of, outran his blocking and ran right into the waiting arms of my defender. 2nd and 7. Again, I have everything pretty much covered. Someone has to get home. That's a straight 4-man rush there. And finally, DeCarris McKinley, he has a 90 finesse move. He's got to be able to get in as my 3 technique. You just can't have that much time. Same thing here, So far, he scored on this first drive. He's going to score. He's a good player. And he's running, the meta stuff very well. So it's going to be hard to stop consistently there. I sent a blitz. It got picked up. He max protected, so we converted on 4th and long. And here my quarter flat gets out-leveraged by a drag coming from the opposite side. That's out of position. Jabril Peppers, I believe. But again, you can only cover so many crossers. And if a crosser has time to go from all the way from one side of the field all the way to the other, you're not getting any pass rush. Finally, we get a good 4-man edge rush there. Shaq Griffin comes through. So he's going to have to settle for 3 here, and we're still hanging in there. He's going to make it, so we are at 10-7. And this play coming up right here, this play almost made me pull the trigger and get a Vic. I don't want to use Vic. Everyone, their mother uses Vic. He's such an insanely dominant item. I just don't want to do it, I want to use the players that I like. I'm a Cam Newton fan. I want to use Cam. So here we're going to go to a little bit of a zone read. We're going to audible to the zone read here, actually. I got perfect numbers if I get a keep read, which I do. And there's literally only one guy left between me and 6 points. If that's Vic, I spin him out, I'm still running, and I score a touchdown. But I get a fumble. All of his players are going for the ball. None of mine are. They're all standing around, and he recovers the ball. And that is going to begin to turn the tide of this game. That was a costly turn of events. I'm in cover 2, show 4. I forced him to check it down. Made the tackle, and that's fine. Okay, if he has to take that, it beats Vic scrambling for 15, 20 yards or getting beat down the field. And here is really the first real, coverage fail. I was in a press quarters alignment there, but Dion never got off the line of scrimmage. He just let the receiver just release right on by him. So 3rd and 15, 17-7, not looking good now. We got to play pretty much perfect all the way out, and this has to be a completion. If you're going to force us to have to high point those balls to get it past underneath defenders and users without getting INT'd, if my feet are planted and it's a clean throwing lane, I have to be able to make that read and throw. Simple as that. So he has the ball again. Of course, the one time I don't spy Vic, that's what happens. And here I just lose my mind. I just have a breakdown, a mental lapse. I had it covered right. I don't know why I came off of it, but that was just a stupid move on my part. Just dumb. So 24-7, and I'm just trying to get something positive established. We're going with Cam a little bit. Just trying to get a score on the board and see what happens. Run a little shallow cross. Again, there's just so much traffic down there, and he's starting to send glitches now and a hover with his user defender, which glitches your offensive lineman. My right tackle glitches out. and I get sacked untouched. And again, I needed just a little, I just needed one more tick for that square end to break, and then I could have released it, but again, same thing. So I concede, and we take the L there. So next game, I didn't make any roster tweaks. I thought I hung in there pretty well until that fumble, and then things kind of just unraveled. But here I'm going to go back to the run and shoot. Change playbooks, go to the shoot. I want to change my coach. I'm getting sick looking at Todd Bowles. But anyhow, next game up. As we lock in our squad, we're going to go with our run and shoot and try to do better. I really like this out of position Lamar Jackson item. He's a really good, nifty back for salary cap that doesn't, take up a lot of cap, and you get some nice speed and nice acceleration. You get a good spin move and juke move. He hasn't fumbled for me yet, which is a good thing. Got to watch out for that with his carry rating, but so far he's been just fine. So anyhow, on to our next game here. We're going to try to, execute better and not collapse. So let's go. Run and shoot playbook, and I'm running my match coverage scheme out of the Jags playbook. Just a personal preference. Most of the 4-3 playbooks are going to have the same coverages in them. Some might have a little bit more cover 3 press here and there. Other than that, not going to be much different. So, let's see if we can hold things together here. So, again, he comes out in, surprise, surprise, trips tight end. And, that's the way it's going to be on these leaderboards on the high end of it. You're going to see meta. They're going to run it. You're not going to be able to stop them from running it. You just have to stop them. Crying about it's not going to work. Complaining that they're calling the same half dozen plays is not going to work. It's not going to do anything. They're not going to stop running it because you're sitting there complaining about it. You're going to keep on doing it. So if you're going to be playing these ranked modes, you got to know that going in, and you got to find an answer. And against good guys, it's not going to be the easiest thing in the world. There's a reason why they run it. The reason why someone's running OP stuff is because it's OP and it works. So, gotta deal with it, Split close here, you know what you're gonna get. And a pick there would have been nice. That had to have been a mistake on his part. I doubt he intended to float that pass out there to the flat. 3rd and 7, play action. And he's probably running deep comebacks or deep outs. It's deep comebacks. I was impressed there, and that's a bang-bang play. Long developing play again. I gotta get my pass rush going. Gotta get it going. So 2nd and 10. Gonna try to clamp down here. Let's go. Let's go. Thanks for showing up, gentlemen. Thank you. If I do my job and I call the coverages I want to call to attack what he's doing, and I know how to use her, I know my match coverage rules, and first option is gone, second option is gone, third option is gone, protection has to begin to break down at that point. Otherwise, you just can't play defense at any level. It's impossible. So here we go with a run and shoot. He's in 3-4. He's going to be playing a ton of just hideous alignments. And again, going back to my pet peeves, again, look at this. If you try to play this type of defense against this type of offense, that guy almost got there. I mean, my God, you cannot have these alignments be rewarded. I harp on this all the time. I hammer this point constantly. If you cannot align a defense properly, you can't play defense. The number one, before anything else can be done on defense, you have to be aligned soundly. And if you're not, you're going to get crushed. Stuff like this should happen to you all the time. Get base aligned the hell out of the game, and they gotta fix how these defenders can move so fast laterally and backwards. You got guys moving backwards in strafes faster than receivers are getting into their routes. It's insane. There we dialed up switch dig, and we get on the board, so we're up 7-3. So let's hold down on defense. I have a couple of weak sisters in my secondary that I try to get away with. A Trey Waynes and a Jason Verrett, who I'm going to have to replace. I can't get away with them. Even though they're quick, they just get overmatched. Anyway, I have no idea how that got completed. Again, if I was a little bit better there with my personnel, probably does not get completed. I thought I had a user pick, but I was not quite there. So And again, here's Jason Verrett. He gets exposed there. He's not going to be able to cover Chris Carter there on that route. He's just overmatched, and he's going to get ripped by Tyreek Hill. I mean, in MUT Unlimited, I have Rondé Barber out there. He eats those for lunch, but again, it's a mismatch here. And again, horrible alignment. 60 slide, stock against cover 3. Moss would run a curl route, but again, he's so badly aligned. I want to fade him and either hit him outside or just clear out space for a quick dump off there on that bubble outlet. Good on either or. But again, I was kind of spooked from doing that because, again, the last time I ran a comeback against a line like that, he almost made the damn play, even though he was that far out of position. Positional advantage has to be applied at all times, because if it's not, you can't always trust your eyes. There I get hosed there. That has to be kept in bounds. I thought it was in bounds. I thought I got the shaft there, but sometimes Cam will, do that. He'll uncork an inaccurate pass down the sideline on a corner route. I picked that up just a little bit late. That's on me. I was a little bit out of position with my user and paid, so I'm trying to keep him out of the end zone here. We're on it. We're on it. We're on it. I was clicking on R3 to send him my defender, but no one came down. So again, he's on the doorstep. We hold there. We hold the door, as RG would say, and a big stand there. He settles for 3 going into the second half. So I don't think the bubble screen is going to be there, so I'm looking for the choice route. I'm hoping that he sends a guy, which he does, but we don't connect. So that didn't quite go as the way I planned. Again, I'm going to keep running these fades and thinking to myself, I'm going to get rewarded for it eventually. And I do. Again, bad alignment. You cannot be aligned inside and defend outside at the same time. There's not a corner on the planet who can do that when he's misaligned that badly. And here I get lucky. Sometimes better to be lucky than good. I wanted to keep it, but I pressed X, and Lamar Jackson breaks at the tackle, or he bounces off Clowney and goes in, and he pauses the game. Hey, it happens. I'm sure he's been on that side of the fence as well. So we're up 14-13. Here, I play this right, but I try to bait him. This is cover 4 against a reduced split by the solo receiver. Against a normal split set, cover 4 solo, that receiver is manned up by the corner. Reduced split, it checks to cover 4 cut, which means inside release, the corner will take him, or underneath release, the corner will take him. I cut that route, the corner replaces me. He needs to do a hell of a lot better job of looking for work than he did, but I came off with the guy thinking I could bait him over the middle, but since I had no pass rush for the millionth time, he was able to hang in there and find the guy late, at the sideline all by himself. So he's going to cash it in, 2014. Do a little bit of HB circle. This play was amazing last year. Not quite as good this year, but he had a couple of guys and looked like he had them in hard flats. He was able to get the ball over them and hit that out route. Don't really trust what I see. I'm just going to run it. Maybe I could have gone with Tyreek Hill down the seam, but maybe not. So with a mobile QB, I'll just take off. Now we'll pop inside zone, or zone read rather. Just count numbers. If you can't count to 6, you can't run a spread offense. So anyhow, I believe here he just over adjusts. He has a whole bunch of guys cloud flatted, hard flatted, cross manned, and ended up leaving Randy Moss wide open. That's what looked like to happen there. So we're going to be back on top, 21-20. Need a stand. I'm in cover 3 buzz match here. I bring the safety down into the box, and again, I mix in the match coverages from the same pre-snap shell without having the base align. I think that kind of threw him off, and he throws it up for grabs, and we get the INT. So we're back in business. Need to score here and put this game away. You guys don't see me play with scrambling QBs all that much, so you don't see me do stuff like this all that much. A little throw on the run, that comes in handy. Those are things that we can't do with our Matty Ice. And move the sticks, pop a little draw action in here, and again, I love this Lamar Jackson item. That's a really good job for me. Can't complain at all. Much one of those things where if you find an item that works for you and you like it, just ride with it. I'm going to run a little switch curl here. I flip sides. I don't think that I can go to the curl outside because that's where his user's going to be. So I'm going to look for the switch because he's probably going to play that, which he does. So I come off of it. I scramble. I could have probably thrown it right there, but, you know, already had the first down in sight. So let's move the chains and they can take a timeout. Again, horrible alignment. If I did not convert this fade here, I would have probably just turned the game off. Instantly wide open, which he should be. There's not a corner that has ever lived that could make a play on that route from that alignment. It's just not possible to do. And again, it was closer than it should have been. In real life, if you ever saw a defense line their defensive backs the way people do in this game, an offense would just snap throw it. Snap, pivot, throw, take the 3 yards. And there, Verrett steps up. We got one drive to hold on. 2nd and 10. I was in cover 2, show 4 there. Yes. So we're almost home. Almost home. So here on 3rd and 16. What am I in here? I'm going to be in cover 2 sink here. And there's a reason why you have not seen me in near as much cover 2 this year as you've had my previous Tampa 2 glory days. That right there, the, you know, corner should be looking inside much more aggressively. Cover 2 sink, and cover 2 sink has never panned out this way. It's supposed to be more of a, well, a modern cover 2 with hybrid zone man principles, but it's never turned out that way. You know, soft cross will match a solo side receiver, for example, sometimes. Sometimes he won't when he should. Sometimes he will when he shouldn't. And the safeties, they never relate to the new number 1 when the corner does match the number 1 receiver coming under. So it's just a big old flat mess. And anyhow, again, my good old changeup, cover 3 double buzz. Not double buzz, but buzz match secures the game there, and we get a W. So against some pretty good connotation, you see number 2 there. We finish 1-1, and we say we're gonna call it a night. This person after this game was ranked 78. He was probably higher than that going in. He was probably somewhere between 50 and 70 if I had to guess. So, you know, there you see little old me. Again, I just haven't played a lot of games, so there you go. But again, you know, these games at the top of the leaderboard, they're not easy. The players are good and the meta is potent. So there you go. Hope you guys enjoy. I'll talk to you all later. Peace.